Following a lecture is quite intensive. Following an online lecture is even more challenging. These 3 tips will help you to learn more from an online lecture. Tip 1. Connect. It's important that you try and link the new knowledge of the lecture to prior knowledge or experiences. For example, can you link this lecture to a previous class? Or can you link it to one of your own experiences? Maybe the matter can be linked to other classes, other topics you've seen before. Or with a profession. How will this be useful for you during an internship or when you are a professional in the future? Maybe there's a link to current events. Although some connections are more interesting than others, it's important that you try and make them when you listen. The second tip is write. Take notes. Students tell us that notes help them to stay focused during the lecture and help them to process and study the material faster afterwards. As you'll be using your computer to take the online class, you'll be writing your notes on paper. This is a good thing. You can use your own language and translate what the lecturer has said into your own words. Although notes are very personal, they should do 2 things. 1, they should help you to collect the core, the main messages of the lecture. And 2, they should help you to add structure to these messages. Are these all examples of the same thing? Are these different things? So, take notes, try and collect the core, and try to add structure. The third, and probably most valuable tip, is exchange. Also here, sharing is caring. Exchange what you picked up from the lecture with other students. During and after class, you normally do this. You check something with a student, you compare notes. Although you might be able to do this online during a lecture, don't do it. Chatting and WhatsApp take away a lot of your attention, and an online lecture is often more intensive than an offline one. Do this afterwards. Share your notes with other students and address the main points you've written down and listen to the others do the same. It could be more interesting to run over the main ideas and each of you pitching in, trying to recreate the core message of the lecture. You can also come up with exam questions and ask them to other students to see if they also picked up the same ideas you have, or try and answer their question to see if you understood the same thing. Challenge yourself and try and use the academic language also used by the lecturer. To conclude, how can you learn more from an online lecture? 1. Connect the new information with prior knowledge and experiences. Tip 2. Write. Take notes. Find and structure the main ideas of the lecture. Tip 3. Exchange. Share your notes, your main ideas, try and compile the main message of the lecture in a group. Taking an online class is hard. With these 3 tips, you'll be able to learn more from an online lecture.